Hope and mental health. Um, they seem quite linked, don't they? Like, but I wonder if they dance well together. And what actually helps hope and mental health dance together quite well. I recently had this picture pop into my brain just the other day, and it was like I was looking at a headstone in a cemetery, and on the headstone it had the word hope written on it, and not the person, like not like a person that was called Hope, but it was the concept of hope, that hope had died, it had been buried, it was gone, hope had left the building. And so often it made me jolt when I first saw that sort of picture in my brain. And I thought about some of the conversations I've had with people over the years and through emails that people send to me. And there is a kind of a sense where hope has died. It's gone, and it's lost. And so often I want to resuscitate it and bring it back to life. What is hope? What's hope for you, I wonder? I was reading this article about hope, and there was this quote: "Hope isn't a denial of what is." Okay, it's not denying what is, but it's a belief that the current situation is not all that can be. You can recognize something's wrong, but also that it's not the end of the story. And that was from a lady called Thema Bryant. Mental health, I have found in my own life and many others, it sort of goes up and down, and side to side, much like a roller coaster. And sometimes we are living the dream, and sometimes the dream is more of a nightmare. But the roller coaster goes up and down, side to side. We're thrown around, and we all just wonder when will this settle down into something um, manageable. There's not so much extremes. And I suppose the healthiest of us have know this and work on habits and all sorts of different things to build up some kind of resilience. Um, Mental health, I believe, happens when we take little steps. And hope is part of those little steps we take every day. And Paul, the Apostle Paul in the Bible, he wrote this letter to the church of Corinth. And right at the end of the most famous chapter in that book, in that letter, in one of the most famous chapters in the Bible, chapter 13, it says, "Now faith, hope, and love abide. These three. And the greatest of these is love." And what they were talking about there was what I think the early readers would have heard was that it's more than merely wishful thinking, but it's kind of a firm assurance, sort of based on what God is like. And this hope is it's linked like a triad with faith and love, and it's quite a big part of what we call the Christian's virtues. And it's a big hope is part of a big part of what I do here on Turning the Page, where our the compelling vision I have is empowering mental health through faith, hope, and love. What does it mean for someone whose hope has died? I have a small cup here. It's a very small cup. It's one of those little espresso cups you see people sipping little shots of coffee out of. And I have several cups in my kitchen, but it's the smallest ones that I have the most time for. My favourites, and I do sip a little bit of coffee in the morning as I wait for the sunrise to come up, and I have to look out and look for the sunrise, and I sip a little cup of coffee. And I was thinking that often when I'm talking with somebody, either face to face or online, pretty much all the time now, just online, and or as I'm conversing with someone via email, which you're welcome to do. I want to offer them a little cup of hope. It might actually even be smaller than this, maybe a thimbleful of hope. Not a big cup that could lead to overinflation or over optimistic enthusiasm, because I've had moments like that where I've had this massive, great big hope, and then for reality to come like a needle and pop my balloon, it just goes. and I just sink. But perhaps it's just a few milliliters of hope that I can offer people. And I want people to borrow a little cup of hope from me. And I've written this in the blog post. You've run out of hope? Borrow a small cup from me. Just bring it back when you have some of your own. Tell me the story, and I will give the cup to someone else who needs it for their journey. You see, I believe that mental health is empowered when a hope is realized and not deferred on to another day. And the Proverbs say that hope deferred makes the heart sick. So hope just goes, oh, hope for another day. That just makes the heart sick. And yeah, it doesn't promote healthy mental health. But a desire fulfilled is a tree of life. I love that. You know, I started talking about in this podcast, in this video, about the headstone and with hope written on it. Well, I would like to think that I could not just some things that people hope and actually need to die because it's just not God's best intention for them. And I've found that in my life that when I've allowed those hopes to die, new hopes, even better hopes, start to emerge. You see, I don't want to resuscitate that which needed to die. I want to see a resurrection of something new, wildly good and different. Now that excites me. And when I think about this, I think about the story of Naomi and Ruth and how Naomi, she lost everything, lost her husband, lost her sons to death, and all she was left with was two daughter-in-laws, and that was it, and no one to care for them. Yet, and she said, and this is hope dead. Okay, the Lord's hand has turned against me. That's that she's got a dead hope. But at the end of the story of Naomi and Ruth, and I'd encourage you to go and read it. She is presented with a baby, and Ruth, her daughter-in-law, has remarried, and she produces a baby. And this is what it says in the Bible. The woman said to Naomi, "Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer. May he become famous throughout all Israel. He will renew your life and sustain you in old age. For your daughter in law, who loves you and who is better to you than 7 sons, has given birth." Then Naomi took the child in her arms and cared for him. The woman living there said, "Naomi has a son." And they named him Obed. He was the father of Jesse, the father of David. And if you follow the lineage on further, you find out that Jesus came out of that direct lineage himself. So Naomi didn't just have a son, she had I suppose, a great grandson called Jesus. Look, some hopes and dreams have to die to other hopes and dreams to be born. Here's a little poem I wrote the other day. I sit and look out at the night. I await the dawn, some brand new light. Gas explosions, distant sun, God's hands clap in cosmic fun. Light, it comes to my distant shore, pinks and oranges, subtle changes I adore. I sit and wait, hold out my little hope cup. Lord, make this a hope-filled day, taste of you from which to sup. It's a small cup, big enough to easily fill, a small millimetre change, mana portion not to overspill. A small cup, Lord, that's what I am. Fill me up from your hand. I wait and hope, I long for rivers wild, but a small cup is all I am. Enough for today will do just fine. Thank you, Lord, for this provision day, sunbeams given, started out light years away. I am waiting, holding tiny cup. Help me, Lord, with my sup. At end of day when tired I will be, I will review my cup and thank you for what has been. I will hope, I will look for those little gifts scattered along the way. How's your hope? How's your hope cup? Can you hold out a small little cup like this and big enough for today? Hey, if you found this helpful, um, subscribe to the site to the wherever you're listening or viewing this on. Give it a like and send me an email. And there's a link down in the show notes. So Barry at turningthepage.co.nz. And if you really like this stuff, and I just want to thank you if you are a donor to support what I'm doing here. But if you're not, would you consider giving a small donation to help me keep doing this sort of work? And $3 a month just goes so far and helps me so much. Hey, until next time, I pray that you would find a little cup and a little bit of hope for your day. Okay, bye.